as we've journeyed through becoming nature wise, it's been beautiful to witness in your own language how you've begun to adapt a new mindset with not just how you engage with nature, but how are we engaging with the world. And we've been learning really this sacred etiquette, this etiquette of what it means to be in relationship with everything, and recognizing that everything is this interconnected web. And whatever impact we have on that web is going to ripple across and affect all other life. And this is something we hear and see in the stories and the language and the practices of indigenous beings around the world. And there's this deep sense of reverence and respect with nature and how they move through the world, how they carry their gifts in a humble way, but yet in a powerful way. And you've learned this etiquette of greeting the forest, and giving offerings, of sharing your intention. And so much of what we've been learning here is we're learning how to listen. We're learning how to instead learn about vanilla leaf and cedar and the vine maple, the birds. Instead of learning about them, we have been learning this etiquette of learning from them. And in that, this is one of my favorite things, we avail ourselves to become a student of everything and everyone. To not just be a student of the plants, but our neighbors, or the person driving down the highway next to us. Right? The way the seasons shift, or how the moon affects the plants and ourselves. We become that tracker, and we enter the tracker's mind of asking questions that pull us into the mystery, asking questions that lead to new questions. Yeah. And in this, we are learning how we may, greet the people in our lives, and how we can also listen more deeply to them with greater reverence and respect. For just like every plant has its own medicine, its own spirit, its own presence, that's contributing to the whole of this environment, we are learning that each person in our life, whether it's just someone you meet at the grocery store that day, or someone who's comes in and out of your life, or what have you, each one is contributing to the ecosystem of what we call your dreaming. And you're contributing to the network of their dreaming. And so we're learning this etiquette of walking through the world in a more humble way, in a sacred way, where we are breaking down the walls that insulate us from the rest of the sacred web and this network of life. We're breaking down these walls, breaking ourselves open, where we're making, as David White says, we make vulnerability be a discipline we bring into every conversation. A sense of transparency where we can learn and be in this reciprocating conversation, which is a way of being in relationship with what this moment is dreaming. And those deeper meanings for you, and those part of that. So that's something to meditate a little further on for you. How do you envision yourself walking through the world? Not just in nature, but in your life. And how can you bring these principles as we learn from nature, we learn from the teachings of the river and how it's always in this sense of flow. We learn of the tree's ability to release their leaves and withdraw within ourselves, but also that the trees drop their leaves because they have certain nutrients that feed the soil so that the tree will have nutrients through the winter. How do we bring those same wisdoms into our own life, into our relationships, so that we can continue to cultivate our ability to listen and hence be in relationship, a relational way? So we may really embody the Lakota saying, Oho Metakiwe Aiwasan, which means all my relatives, or all my relations, or we are all related. And what would it mean to walk in the world knowing that this cedar here has been here long before me, and will be here long after me? And so when I give my offerings to the cedar and I give my offerings to the forest, I'm joining my voice, and my heart is joining the voice of thousands who've come before me. It's joining the voice and heart of thousands who are also giving their offerings around the world in their own way. So that when someone else comes through, they will feel the love of that thousands and contribute their own voice. How can we walk in the world with that awareness? So these are just some things to consider and think about, things to begin to weave a little further into our awareness. And the best way to do that is just continue to come out here and apprentice ourselves directly to nature, where we're learning from nature as being a younger relative of all of this. So today I've been doing this for 16 years and I still feel like a baby. I barely scratched the surface. Yeah. It's magic. All right.